My name's Don Farrell. We were born and raised in this area. We've been farming on this farm since 1972.
My name is Bernd Portz and I'm an organic producer just outside of Ripley along Lake Huron, and I've been farming there for 4 years right now.
My name is Eadie, and I am, depending on which side of the house you look at least the fourth or fifth generation a descendant of the pioneers in the Pine River watershed.
A lot has changed in the countryside. When we come here, our farm was all 10-acre fields. Today it's as big as you can make them. We don't see the wildlife we had. Too long and windy.
The history of the Pine River watershed, as far as I'm concerned, from our family's perspective, was in the Ripley Pine River area. And the land was settled by my great-grandfather, the one farm that we still own, and it was mainly all bush in that area. Gradually, of course, the pioneers were encouraged to clear the land. That was the whole purpose of settling the Queen's Bush, was to come up here and clear the land and farm it.
The trees you see around our yard here have all been planted since we come here. I think we had 1 or 2 old apple trees, but the neat part about that was we could look out the window and see 3 or 4 deer standing here watching us. There'd be jackrabbits around. We don't have the wildlife that we had before, and they are precious and entertaining.
I guess in the early days before I had the farm, the previous farmer, he took all the fence rows out, he took all the trees out. I mean, 100 years ago everything was treed here in this area. We have to get more trees to protect from wind erosions, because my farm is 300 acres and there's no trees anywhere.
When we first come here, we used to be able to go back and get Sunday supper out of the river, and now you very seldom see a fish. We'd never take the grandkids back, and we always come up and have to go to the restaurant. So
those changes led to, though, by the early 90s, I was beginning to get concerned. All of a sudden I was starting to hear that, the nearshore water quality wasn't as good. And of course, my childhood memories, the beach was just the perfect place to go to.
Your water starts in the neighbor's place, like it's never our water, it's neighbor's water, but it's everybody's water. So
I started putting windbreaks on my farm. I started to keep the fields all covered with green cover crops over the winter time. Because what I noticed, if you leave them open plowed, the wind just picks up the dirt and then carries it to the neighbor's field or to any creeks, any kind of lakes.
So I thought, from a personal standpoint, what can we do? And we had discussions as the Pine River watershed at the start, and it was a learning curve for most of us. And the landowners had their perspective, and the beach associations had their perspective. So it was very interesting work, very exciting at the start for me personally, and I know for the other members of the Pine River watershed, to see the first projects actually happen and for it to build. We just started very small with, I think the first year we only planted about 300 trees, and then all of a sudden we started going up into the thousands of trees.
Pine River Watershed is a really good organization as far as they look after the watersheds for the farmers. The Pine River Watershed, what they've done is they're showing the farmers how to grow trees along some of the water courses. They teach the farmers maybe to actually grow some buffer strips along the creeks.
To get somebody with a $350,000 combine to run around that little spot didn't make sense. Mm-hmm. So, like we used to, when you had a 30-horse tractor and a 10-foot disc, you could do that because you needed all the land.
Yeah.
But big machinery today can't go in and chase that. So that's where we get all the little spots, like an acre or 600 trees, but every tree counts. So,
you know, Bruce County's been our family's home for years, and we want to preserve it for future generations.